Let's face it, right now, Henderson's emergency staff is overwhelmed. I'm hearing horror stories on the doorstep on the South Mountain of 8, 10, 12-hour wait times before we get to see a doctor. Let's face it, we are paying out an awful lot in taxes and we're not receiving the services, and that includes urgent care on the South Mountain. Sobe bicycles in the lower city have been a smashing success. Unfortunately, on the mountain, we're an afterthought again. Very few places offering Sobe bicycles. I believe we need to expand what is a successful program and give everyone on Hamilton Mountain the opportunity to enjoy the Sobe bicycle experience. Sometimes what we don't know about poverty on the mountain is the extent of poverty on the mountain. Look at Ward 7 with a population now of approximately 65,000 people. 16% of those people, that's over 10,000 citizens of Ward 7, are making decisions tonight about what bills they will pay or not pay tomorrow, and what program will they utilize to feed their children at school. I want to work with all the agencies on the mountain to address this very serious question. Once upon a time on Concession Street and at Lime Ridge Mall, there were community offices staffed by Hamilton police officers. Now we only have a very modern police station at Rymel Road and Turner Park. Look, this is a very, very big ward. We need an increased police presence. I would love to see the community police station open again on Concession Street, and I will work with the BIA here to make that happen. Look, we've identified several areas where we need some kind of investment in bicycle safety. I'll give you an example. South Bend and Upper James. Upper James is a speedway, and one of these days we're going to have a tragedy at that corner. There is no possible way you can get across that street unless we install pedestrian push buttons for cyclists and individuals. And that leads me into the recent tragedy on the Claremont access. When the Hamilton cycling community approaches city staff and says, we need something safe to get up and down the mountain, and a man loses his life, and then the Hamilton cycling community is told, well, we'd have to bump something else to make a safe bike lane happen in 2016, I say, bump away. Well, it's uniform. People are telling me that their property taxes are too high. When I turn the question around and say, don't you really mean that you're okay with paying property taxes, but you're not receiving the services you expect for those property taxes? Cracks in the roadways, express buses that we can't find to use to get off the mountain, and finally, health care. You're paying high taxes but not receiving what you expect in return. I'm going to introduce participatory budgeting to Ward 7 on the mountain. No one is doing it up here. How will that strengthen neighborhood associations? It will bring people together who will actively work in their neighborhoods to resolve capital issues. I will allow you to vote on participatory budgeting measures and spend money in your backyard that is your money. A family of 4 who are currently going through precarious work situations. We call them the working poor. They're holding 2 and 3 jobs, and yet they're still not making ends meet. Well, a living wage would put extra dollars in their pockets, and the living wage would put extra dollars into the pockets of small business people. Look, we have to widen the link in the Red Hill. This should have been done in the first place, in the first construction. We have attracted some major industries to Hamilton Mountain because of our ring road. To let those industries starve, basically not being able to move their goods and services in 5 to 10 years, just isn't right. The Master Transportation Plan will be out in months, and I will be there supporting the widening of the Link and the Red Hill.